Tom Vassel's top 100 games of all time. DRC. Damn, Healy. Oh, really? It's top 100 games.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. How you doing, everybody?
Sam Healy, what's up, y'all?
We are in the last part of the first half.
The last part.
Of the first half.
That's right.
We're gonna get
correct.
real close to 50 then,
Yes.
But not
One away.
250.
and that is when the games get good.
My games are already good.
What? I thought it was 50 great games, 50 games you'll put up with.
When do you think you were able to make a top 100? It took a while. Like I couldn't have done it.
I mean, I
in
could have done it
college.
as soon as I played 100 games technically, but like the last 30 would have been like, I don't really.
Number 100.
Yeah.
I hate this
Boomo.
game.
Boomo would have been my number one.
It's an okay game.
Boomo, sir, is like Monopoly's sad cousin.
We're talking about the card game Boomo.
Yes.
Has nothing to do with Monopoly.
I was just making a comparison that
why
most
it's a
people would
cousin.
understand. Yeah, cousins
Not
are
a
not
sister
really
or a
related.
brother.
Yeah.
I don't understand any. Okay, so
How does
anyhow.
family work.
But no, but I mean, after a while, when I first made my list of top 100 games, I still liked every game on the list. But now it's harder and harder. There's just so many good games. But let's find out what we have for you today.
So here we're taking a look at number 60.
All right, my number 60 is a game called Discoveries. How's that for being fast on the name, huh?
What? Okay,
Anyway.
first of all, Discoveries. What's Discoveries?
Discoveries is the dice game of Lewis and Clark.
Yeah.
Oh,
The Journals of Lewis and Clark.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wow.
Why? Why are you?
That one's
No, not that.
disgusting.
Not that you picked it, but that.
that anyone remembers it.
No, that.
Wow.
No.
You guys.
No.
What have I done in a previous life, or
You
maybe
were
yesterday, or I don't know?
No, not that. I'm
was
just saying that
Lewis.
I'm surprised this particular game's high on anyone's list is my thing. I don't think it's a bad game. I'm just surprised.
That was
That
like
was
the
even
nicest
worse.
way to say the meanest thing.
I know,
like
right?
This game.
Pretty good.
I like this game. Just talk about it. This is I'm trying to be a positive surprise, but I'm gonna be.
That's my number 60.
put it back in-
Discoveries.
put it back in the
you
brain.
Go do your own research on
Wait a minute. Let me try this again. Woo!
No,
No, okay, but what?
I'm done.
Is it because of the?
60s, Discoveries, Lewis and Clark. I like history. This is a cool take on history. I like the dice rolling. I like the economy of the dice in the game. I love the artwork. My number 60, Discoveries.
Oh, those are all good things. I like it too.
I like that game a lot. I still have it.
Do you?
I do.
I.
It's a good game. I did
Alright.
play though Lewis and Clark the other day with a slow player. I usually play with two people also. I play with three and a slow player. Oh my. So
How long did that one take?
long. Like 90 minutes, nearly 2 hours.
So long.
For that game? Yeah. Yeah.
I like that slong. That just means
Yeah,
so long.
slong.
Slong.
That sounds gross.
But no, I think if I did my top 10 dice games, this one would have a good chance of making it in. I do
Yeah,
like
but
it.
never a top 100.
Again, I'm just surprised that
When
it's
did you
on
know
your
you were
list.
able to
That's
make a top 100 dice games?
I could, actually.
I know.
All right. My number 60 is new to the list, and that is Century Spice Road, or I guess... Nah, whatever. You know I like this game. I guess like Century Golem Edition.
Go. I was putting it back
That's
in.
even worse.
I know. It's gross. I can't think now.
Century, whichever version of the exact same thing. It's just I love it. It's just so quick. You play a card, you pick up the cards. This was on your list, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's right. Is it on your list?
No. No. Because you know what else is quick? Yahtzee.
I like Yahtzee.
Is it on your list?
No, but again, this is a top 100, not top.
2000. Yeah. Get out of here. No, it's okay. Century Spice Road I enjoyed. I like the Gollum one better for sure. It's just a better look, better theme. Yeah. But no, not top 100.
I like how fast the game is, right? If you're going to play a game, I like a game where turns go quickly. Like, I don't know how someone could be slow at Century. I guess it's possible, but I mean, there's only so many options
Find
you
that player
have.
I'd play Lewis and Clark with. Show you how.
You need to, like, warn us for that one. All right,
Yeah.
what do you got?
All right, my 60, that's where we are, right? 60 is K2. K2, a mountain climbing
Hit.
game. Huh?
Hit. No, wait.
You sunk my battleship.
K2.
Battleship doesn't have.
Yeah,
doesn't have a road.
K. Bingo. Wait a second. There's no K in bingo. It's a really neat sort of weather management, card management game in which you're trying to race up the mountain, get as many points as you can. The higher up you go, the better you do, and then come back down safely. But it's a kind of like a really, really big push your luck game in which you're managing a lot of different things. I like the look. I like the mechanisms in it. It reminds me, the first time I played it, reminded me of a non-co-op Pandemic because the theme is well integrated, but it does so with very few mechanisms, and this game kind of reminds me of that. I enjoy it a lot. Came up with a sequel. I don't like the sequel nearly as much, Mount Everest, but K2,
Really?
yeah, it was a little. They started to add a lot of stuff, and I like the simplicity of this
I
one.
see.
So K2 is a really good, thematic, interesting, and somewhat different game than most games that attempt to do this kind of thing out there. So K2 is my number 60.
So that's a look at number 60. I look forward to seeing number 59.
My number 59 was on the list last year at 38, so pretty, fairly close. This is one of those games people said is just a flash in the pan, and I don't believe it, and that is Mechs vs. Minions. When this game came out, it had the Riot license behind it, so of course everyone was excited about it. Then we saw the game, and our eyeballs melted at just the amazement that was in that box. It was just unbelievable. Co-op, which I like. Co-op where there's like a gazillion bad guys and you're just like blowing them apart, and I tend to like that sort of thing.
Right.
I think I tend to like that more than like one big bad guy and everyone's taking that down and finally you hit the wall and the guy falls down. I'd rather there be 100 little bad guys and you're like, ah!
Okay.
No, I just tend to like that. So, Mechs vs. Minions. I really enjoy this game still. I mean, the box is big, so it's harder to fit in shelves and bags and stuff. But it holds up well, really well, I think.
Cool. All right, my 59.
Anyway, cool.
I like that game a lot, yeah. My 59 is Gold West, which came out from
That's a good one.
TMG, if I'm not mistaken, and it's a Euro game through and through. It's about optimization. It feels in many ways like a Stefan Feld game, but there's no bloat in it. And sometimes Stefan Feld games are point salads. You get points for everything, but there's a little bit of bloat in it. And in this game, I feel like everything that is in there helps the package. Nothing feels like, hey, look, I found another mechanism in the drawer. Stick it in there too.
That's how Z does it. I wonder if any game designer
He rummages through that drawer in the kitchen.
designer
That's good.
Oh yeah.
grab something from the fridge. We'll chop this up. It's
Oh,
cooking.
look at that pyramid scoring for colors. Throw that in there. Anyway, Gold West is a really great game. Check it out. It's a game that I think is getting overlooked a lot.
Oh, very much so.
I don't know what it is.
I haven't played it yet.
It's a great game.
That is good.
Sam really likes it too. So anyway, Gold West, check it out. My 59.
My 59 is a, I don't know, it's kind of a strange, I guess you could call it maybe a party-ish type game, but I don't know. I don't think so. It's called Celestia, and it's the reprint of, what's that?
Cloud9.
Cloud9, yeah, that's very good. Cloud9 was a great game. It was fun, but boy, was it ugly. It was just an ugly game. It looked like it was made in the 60s, maybe, with just pastel colors. Just ugly game. Celestia, it's like, on one of those homes on one of those renovation shows. They look nasty
Tiny
and
houses?
busted. They look nasty and busted at the beginning of the show, and at the end of the episode, it's like this mansion. That's basically what the
Those people need to
reprint
come
did
to our
for
studio.
Celestia.
Go people and work something out here.
Hit my studio and I
Pimp my studio.
They can probably get the garbage guy to come at a different time of the day, too. But anyway, Celestia is a great, fun game. I like to play it with its expansion. Its expansion is called A Little Help. And normally what happens in Celestia is that you have one guy that's driving the boat. It's an airship. And he rolls the dice and he has to try to use the dice with the cards in his hand. He has to match the colors that the dice show. Well, with A Little Help, the other people can help him with those different things. And I like that version a lot better than just the basic game. But I like the basic game just fine. Just that if I play it now, I play it with the
That sounds like it would really change how it plays too.
It does. It changes the dynamic. There's a lot of other kinds of take that cards that are added into that expansion. The kinds of cards where if you're the last guy, you can use your jetpack and get out, and you get all of the different rewards, whereas everybody else didn't because they jumped out. It's that kind of stuff.
Sounds good. I gotta try that.
It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy the game, and the reprint just knocked it out of the park. So that's Celestia, Quick Simple Fun Games, my number 59.
58 out of 100 doctors at Dice Tower Hospital recommend number 58.
My number 58 is... It's upside down.
Flourish.
This is one of the more unique games in my collection. It's a game called Witness. And Witness...
Holla!
Can I get a...
No.
Nah.
Witness?
Enough of this.
No?
No, you don't like Witness?
I don't think I've ever played it.
Oh, you haven't played because you
the
don't
whisper
like
one
the
in here?
whispering game. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That one.
definitely.
Yeah, he doesn't like that aspect. But anyway, Witness is basically a group puzzle. And there are lots of games that do that, okay? Like, I mean, you could make the argument that Time Stories is a group puzzle. That, there's a bunch of games that do it. This is just that puzzle. It takes 10 minutes to play a session. It's really short. And you are being given, you need 4 players, that's one of the drawbacks, but you are given a puzzle in pieces and you all put it together by passing information along. That's the gist of it. But man, is it captivating, and it's engaging, makes you think, it's tough. Some of the later puzzles are really difficult. It's just, if you love...
As opposed to those easy early puzzles.
Some of them are a little bit easier at the beginning, but once you've done like the first 5, it's like, okay, you're ready now. Here we go, put on the gloves. It's a really engaging, clever game. I like it a lot. Even from the very first time I played, I was like, what is this game? What? I mean, it didn't make any sense. And once I figured out how it worked, I was like, whoa, this is different. This is actually new. This feels unique. Witness is fantastic. You like it as well?
I do. It's a very unique game. Didn't make my top 100, but it's probably on that list somewhere. I really do like it.
212 for Tom.
You gonna guess that?
Every time I think about that name, though, I want it to be a game about a New York police detective that goes into an Amish community to try to figure out, try to protect a guy from this kid that witnessed a murder.
Close.
There's one of the cases in it is like that.
I would not mind
Lied
it.
straight to my face, didn't you?
I did.
Yes.
I would not mind if there's a game with that theme,
I
and
know,
it's
right?
204.
That was really close.
Dang, that was a close.
I was 8 off?
Yeah.
What? Can I get a witness? Okay.
Oh my goodness. All right, my number 58 is pretty close to what I would call an evergreen, at least for me. And it's because of I like games that have variable player powers, and this one has variable player powers out the wazoo. I mean, you take one faction and you pair it with another faction, you smash them together, smash up
I
the
still don't know the game yet.
and
What could it be?
Smash Up is a great game to play, and it's because of the variety of variable player powers that it has. That's what I really enjoy the most about it. Additionally, each pairing of those factions plays differently than the others. I mean, the way you play the game is the same, but how you score points and all of the different nuances that you can do with your faction is different from all the other combinations that are out there. And that's what I really enjoy about the game. My sons really love the game as well. That probably plays a lot into my enjoyment of it, because we can really challenge each other in the game, and I don't have to hold back or anything like that, and they don't have to hold back either. So it's a really fun game. I really enjoy it. It probably is, at 4 players, it's probably too much. You probably want to play with no more than 3, just because there's a lot of cards on the table. And that's my opinion. But Smash Up is a great game, my number 58.
And they also support it so well.
Yes.
I mean, like
They're
every year,
still
there's 2
coming
more
out.
expansions,
Right.
and they don't look like they're slowing down anytime soon.
right.
So, yeah. Cool. My number 58 is a miniature game. I put this on to please Sam. It's been on my list for like 10 plus years, and they're re-releasing it soon. I don't know when, though. It's Battleground Fantasy Warfare. So, right? Miniature game. So this is a miniature game
Was this the one with the cards?
where the miniatures are all
Yeah,
cards.
They're re-releasing
the
this?
non-miniature game.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, the guy who owned the company sold it to, like, I guess a couple fans of the game.
Interesting.
So they are, in fact, well, one of our promos this
I feel
year
like
for
Eric
our
Summerer-
Kicks, our
Summerer
Indiegogo
is in the
thing.
room.
Why?
Because he keeps saying interesting in a very Eric Summerer-like way.
What? No. It is interesting.
Oh, you know, I actually thought he was. I thought he was
No,
being positive.
He totally trolled you, man.
no,
man.
I don't troll, man.
You lied to me before. But anyhow, I still enjoy this game. I don't play it nearly as often now because it is a more complex game, right? So the one person who might play it with me likes miniatures. Melody will play it with me and stuff. Well, no, I get it. There's a lot of games out there. I don't know.
Just wait for the Kickstarter. One of the stretch goals will probably be
Get everything?
miniatures.
Oh, miniatures?
No, somebody to play it with you.
All right, that's good. That's good.
That's a good one.
All righty.
I'm on vacation right now, but I can conjure you up a number 57.
57 is going to go to a game called Pow Wow. That's my version anyway. And it's been printed by other names. Coyote is one of them.
Coyote is the one I have.
And I don't know, there might be some other names, but this is basically a party game. It is a sort of a reverse Liar's Dice style game in which everyone has a card on their forehead. You can see everyone else's, not your own, and you push the total up on your turn, or you call out the person before you as having said a crazy number that is impossible for it to be the total among everyone. Everyone reveals, you figure out who was right, who was wrong. They are slowly eliminated from the game. That's it. That's the game. It's my favorite thing about the game, besides the fact that it's very easy to play and teach, and it's people get into the silliness of it, is that it's very easy to play in a free-form setting. You can just sort of all sit around a living room. No one needs to be gathered around a table. So it is actually good for parties where people are not sitting around a table. And that's where I've had the most success with it. It's a fun game. The version I have, I think, is very pretty, very well produced. I think it's a Ravensburger printing, and I really enjoy it. So that is my 57, one of my favorite party games out there, Pow Wow.
I think Pow Wow Coyote is better than Liar's Dice.
Yeah.
I like the concept of knowing most of the information, but not all of it.
Okay, I could see that.
And
right.
reading off, I mean, because Liar's Dice, you're essentially just guessing sometimes.
That's true, yes.
Well, you mean you're guessing a lot of times. You have a little bit of information. Coyote, you have all except for one. But that one might make all the difference in the world.
Yes.
So that's why I like that one better.
Yeah, okay, that's
cool.
a good point. That's a good point.
All right, my number 7.
I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be on next.
Stop looking at me then.
You're right. 57 for me, Wild West, Carson City. I like worker placement games a lot. There's a lot of worker placement games on my list. Carson City is one of my favorites. I like the theming of it. I feel like there's a lot that can happen in it, especially the deluxe version. There's so many different characters. It's a little mean. We learned this because we played it last year with Rado. And
And he did not like
he
it.
did not like it. And I was like, oh, yeah, this game's meaner than I remember. Because you can really get in other people's faces about it. And there's a
Yeah.
little bit of luck sometimes when you're fighting in those combats.
Right.
But I like that you can just say, hey, I'm going to go build land. Or I'm going to build a town. Or I'm going to go just try to steal other people's, rob the bank. Or I'm going to go, rustle some cattle or whatever. I feel like there's a lot of options in the
All
game.
wholesome activities too.
Yeah.
Well, no, the land you could play total law abiding in this game and lose, but
Wow.
no, you can be like completely peaceful in the game and win. I think if you take the right stuff.
I guess, but if someone attacks you, you have to shoot back.
Well,
I think there should be a rule that you don't draw.
You just die.
Yes. Like an idiot.
What is wrong with you today? That doesn't even make any sense.
Just saying, if you're gonna give me a sandbox style game, I want to have the ability to not draw. I want to be completely peaceful.
Pacifist.
A pacifist, right? It's also shorter that way.
You know what happens to pacifists in most Wild West movies?
It's that extra.
They die in like the first 5
Guy in the
minutes
back,
of the
number
game.
4.
And yeah, exactly.
Don't shoot! That's done. Go home. Get your $100.
If we
They
play
die in
this
the
game,
first
I
5
will allow
minutes
you
of
to
the
not
movie.
draw. If that's the method you want to play, I'll be like, all right, I automatically win. I'll suffer through this. All right, what do you got?
My number 57 is a dice game that just came out this year, and at first glance, I loved the look of it. first time I played the game, played
hated
the
it.
rules wrong because of somebody.
Whoa, under the bus.
And
Under the bus. Watch out for tires when you teach liars. Dice to my bus.
My goodness. It's not Liar's
I
Dice,
can't
by the
rhyme.
way.
By the way.
The game is called Sagrada. Sagrada is a game that I have really enjoyed.
I taught
It
one
is-
minor rule
If
wrong.
you build windows out of glass.
Again, I said we got a rule wrong
Yeah, that's true.
But it
because of
changed
somebody.
everything. I don't know. Actually, I wasn't.
No,
with
actually,
you guys.
it wasn't that minor of a rule. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it definitely changed how
The
the
thing is, I'm
You put
not
the-
even.
you
I'm
put
not
the
even arguing
dice
this. I don't remember.
Outside the window.
I don't remember. But I assume the fact that I didn't know a rule is correct.
Yeah. Anyway,
Seems legit.
Sure.
I was able to play this game, I think, 3 times at Dice Tower Con, and
Wow,
which is
you were playing it a lot there.
and it was one right after the other. I didn't plan it that way. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I was like, I'm going to play Sagrada this afternoon. You know, we sat down, we played one, and then they were like, let's play again because now I understand how everything works. So we played it again, and then somebody else was watching us play it. And when the people that I was sitting at the table got up, said, "Well, you teach us how to play," and so we sat down, and we played another one. So that's how it worked out. But I enjoyed myself, really enjoyed it. And
That's cool.
That's one of the monikers that I look for when I'm including games on my top 100 list. If I
Do I enjoy the game?
if I get stuck, if
Oh.
I get stuck playing a game all afternoon, is that going to be a good experience, or do I look back and say, never going to let that happen
like
again?
TI4.
That's a good experience.
Right.
Yes.
You get stuck all afternoon playing. One game.
Or all afternoon and all night. Just depends. But yes, it is a good experience
So
afterwards.
we might see that game on your list.
Maybe. Maybe. We'll see. Anyway, my
What's the old
number
beard there?
57 is Sagrada.
Good choice. Good choice.
I need a number 56. Do you have a number 56?
All right, my number 56 is a new game to the list, but it is not new. I want to say it's 3 years old, but I like it so much, I'm like, it has to go on my list. And that is a party game that is barely a game. It's almost an activity rather than a game, and that is
Left, center, right.
Concept.
Oh.
I really like Concept. There's a lot of these games now where it's creativity, creatively.
Creatively.
Is that what you're going for?
Accents are important, sir.
Shut up! I'm sorry. I know what
I don't know what you're
I
trying.
know what's here. I'm just trying to get it here.
That happens to me all the time. So yes.
Okay, so anyway, I like the being able to be creative in this game. There's a lot of the games that are like this, and I think Concept is the best of the lot because you're putting the cubes on these different spots, but then you might stack some cubes. You might move a cube from one to the other. The way that there's a main concept and then sub concepts, and you're using all that. I really like being the clue giver and trying to give a hard clue and trying to get people to do it. As a game, how you score points. Who cares? I just like each person taking a turn playing the game and then trying to get people to guess it. And that's the game itself. It's almost
You know what-
cooperative at that point.
You know what's really frustrating, though? I don't care about keeping score, but it is frustrating when one person just knows everything. And sometimes it just gets that way where somebody is randomly guessing, it seems sometimes. Oh, that's right. Randomly guess again. Oh, that's right too. I don't know. It's those kinds of games. That's what bugs me about them.
I guess, but sometimes
Smarty
concepts.
pants.
Not really smarty pantses because sometimes they're just random guesses. And
You put a cube down banana. Yes.
Yes.
Let me get to my cool clue I was about to give.
I know, right? I mean, it's that kind of thing.
I read that before. You put a clue on yellow. Banana.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Well, that's the only yellow thing I could think of.
Banana!
All right, what do you got?
All right, my number 56 is I believe it's my favorite version of Carcassonne. I do not think I have another Carcassonne version
Let's
on
guess.
my
Let's
list.
guess.
We
Let's
gotta
guess.
guess, we gotta guess
Because I know
on
you
that.
like a lot of. I don't think there's a Carcassonne you dislike
Correct.
because you never played Discovery, but you would hate that one.
Yes.
Um,
Probably, from what I've heard.
I think Sam's favorite is Carcassonne Amazonas. No, not that one. Huh?
South Seas.
Is that right?
Correct.
Is it Amazonas?
Yes.
I was going to guess South Seas.
I do enjoy South Seas. The around the world versions of Carcassonne are my favorite versions. They
Like
all
Gold
have their
Rush
own.
also, the Rush,
yeah, the
the
Gold
Gold,
Rush. That's
yeah.
my least favorite of them.
Okay.
Because it's a little mean. More mean than the others.
Oh, yeah.
But Amazonas is my favorite one. I love the racing mechanic down the river, and the
Right.
different things the different bonuses you can get through doing that. I really enjoy that aspect of it. It's probably the most beautiful version of Carcassonne that's out there. Although I do like the winter Carcassonne tiles.
Yeah, the winter one looks
I
cool.
really like that. But again, I like the flavor that our Amazonas has more than all of those other ones.
Well, they keep kind of outdoing themselves. Every time if I hear a new Carcassonne's coming out, I'm like, ooh, what's it going to look like?
Yeah, exactly.
They keep, they keep. You know,
Exactly.
unlike Catan, which somehow manages to still look like it's stuck in the '80s with each new version, Carcassonne seems to be improving.
Right. Yeah. Well, this is definitely one of the one. I think this one came out at Essen last year.
They haven't announced one this year.
No, not
The
that I
year
know
of no Carcassonne.
Oh. Anyway,
Carcassonne pandemic.
it came out last year, and I think the expansion for the Star Wars Carcassonne came out last year as well. And those are one of the two things that I made sure I brought home
Notice we didn't
from
pick Star Wars. I didn't think that would be in your favorites.
Well, no,
I know
no,
you like it, but it wouldn't be your favorite.
It's ugly. It's
It
an
is really,
ugly version of Carcassonne, but at the same time, it is fun. I do enjoy it, and it's my smallest one. Aiden's is one of his favorite ones to play. So, that's it. My number 56, Carcassonne Amazonas.
My number 56 is a game I've had on my top 100 lists, now that I've been making them for a long time, but it's been on there for a while. This is a game called Mycarinos or Micarinos or something like that. I never know how to pronounce his
I
name.
call them Mycarinos, but you know my pronunciation is impeccable.
So I'm going to say anything but that.
Tom, how do you say this word? I say, you're like, okay.
Okay, good.
So not that
Avoid
way.
this one.
That pronunciation. Yes.
Anyway, this game is an area control game, which is not necessarily a style of game I adore. I enjoy them, but they're not. You just saying, hey, it's an area control game doesn't make me go, what? Like drafting would, right? But this one is really simple. Area control coupled with character powers. As you are earning areas on the board, you then take that area, score some points probably, flip it over, there's a character on the other side, and you get that power. Like that a lot. And the game is really a very clean design. It's quick, it's about 45 minutes, and it feels like you do a lot in that amount of time.
Yes.
That's why I enjoy it very much. So, Micarinos or something like that is my 56.
Mycarinos.
Mycarinos.
Rise, number 55.
All right, my number 55 is one of the only games on my list that has the Cthulhu theme
let's guess
wrapped
again.
around it.
Oh, this has got to be Las Mansiones de Madness.
Yeah! Hey, I understood you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That wasn't Spanish, was
That was like mostly Spanish, 3 out of 4 words.
Yeah, okay, cool. That was close. Close.
Is it the right game?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Mansions of Madness
That was a good guess.
2.0.
When I go crazy, I speak in Spanish. When Cthulhu's got me.
Yeah. And the reason I like this. Usually, I don't like Cthulhu themed games because they're a little bit too dark for my tastes. They dabble too much in that.
Demonology.
Yeah, whatever. But this one, it does that still, but it has that veneer of being a whodunit.
It really does.
Top of it.
It's like a noir
That
almost.
really takes precedence. The Cthulhu theme is just the backdrop, so to speak.
Okay.
You know,
Interesting.
You know what I mean? So it's that's one of the reasons that I like it. Now the second edition makes that even more prevalent. That whodunit aspect, and it takes that Cthulhu-esque thing and pushes it back into the backdrop. For me, I mean, yeah, the app is creepy, so to speak, but it does all that accounting for you. I like this game for its cooperative nature, not for its theme, which is strange for me because theme is usually high up for me. But the cooperative nature of it, the whodunit feel that it gives me, that's why I like the game more than the theme. So I kind of put up with the theme on this one, but I still really do enjoy it. Mansions of Madness 2.0.
Cool. My number 55 is a game that has already been on Tom's list. I don't think Sam mentioned it, but it was definitely on your list before this chunk of top 10. And it's a pirate game. It's a
Libertalia.
Libertalia is the one, yes.
Because I know you wouldn't pick no rum and bones. Z Garcia's in
It's
it.
going to be higher. Isn't it?
You think so?
I don't think Rum and Bones is on my list. I like it. It might be in my top 200. But
All right. But Libertalia.
Libertalia is, again, one of my favorite things out there. I just said I like drafting, but another thing I adore is character powers. And this is...
That's something we all agree on, I think.
Yeah, and this game, I mean, when this first came along, I thought, you know, Citadels and games like that had a lot of character powers. This one has... Citadels has like 8.
This has 30.
This has a ton, yeah. And so I just remember the first time I saw it, the artwork is stunning, first of all. That's some of the best artwork out there, especially for a piratey game. And then all the different powers. And how the first hand, the first round out of 3, everyone has the same cards. And then in the second round, I've held back some cards that are not necessarily the ones you held back. And by the third round, that's even more pronounced. So I like the way it feels as it goes on. I enjoy the simple set collection in it. It's just a fun, quick burst of energy, you know, and I really enjoy it. It looks like a bigger game from the outside. When you actually start playing, it's actually a small, you know, the concept is pretty simple and basic, but I like that. So, my 55, Libertalia.
My number 55 is on the list, was last year 67, so it's going up actually, which is unusual. And that is Marco Polo. Really, really like this game.
I really love the commercials that are coming out with Marco Polo in it right now.
With the pool and stuff?
Yeah.
Where he's like, they're like, Marco.
Hey, I'm already here.
Which this game is
Cracks
not
me
like.
up, man.
Marco Polo, I think part of the reason I like it is, and this is the same reason I like that Clans of Calendar game that I just played, is that you have these special powers, or you know, you have a character power that seems like it's amazing.
Okay.
You know, most of the time it's like, hey, when you get money, you get 1 extra. And you're like, oh, that's cool, but, you know, whatever. In Marco Polo, it's like, if you get 20 extra, that's what it feels like.
Okay.
Like, for example, the game, you roll the dice, and then you place those dice out based on their numbers. One person's power is, you don't ever roll the dice. You just put out whatever number you want. That's like game-breaking, that power.
Okay.
But everyone's power is that same way.
Okay.
They all have these really cool powers, and I like it. It's a Euro game, you know, you're moving around, collecting stuff. It's a dice placement game, which I like anyway.
Okay.
Mixed with those really awesome player powers. Cool, and I really, really blinged mine out. Got great pieces in mine. So, Marco Polo.
Haven't played?
He disapproves of your
I haven't played it.
He was judging me a little, I felt it.
Of your
With the
blinging.
blinging out of the
Yes,
game?
blinging out of the game.
Oh yeah, because it doesn't match the card now?
Yes.
Yes.
Why do you have your straw upside down?
While you take a look at number 54, I'm going to rope 54 llamas.
Okay, here we go. My number 54 is, you know,
You like it?
it definitely is a flavor of miniature games. So, and this is one of the reasons why I didn't give you so much.
Battleground Fantasy Warfare.
No. Rest assured.
It'll be Lost
that's
Cities before it's
not.
that.
That is true.
That's true, man.
That is so true.
That's an awful thing to say.
There are more miniatures
Okay, so
in
it's a,
Lost
so
Cities.
It is a miniature game where the miniatures are printed on the pieces. Yes.
Summoner Wars?
No.
Small World.
No.
Kinda. No. I don't know.
Okay, are the pieces cards or tokens?
They're tokens.
That Normandy thing.
Heroes of Normandy.
Oh, good call. That's why he's
Heroes
the
of
boss,
Normandy.
man.
That is correct. Now, I am fully expecting this to not be on my list the next time we do it.
Yeah, that's right.
Because
But why?
there is a Heroes of Blackreach coming out, which is a Games Workshop infused version of Heroes of Normandy with orcs.
And it looks really
Ultramarines, and
boring
it
so
looks
far.
Awesome! So,
I think you mean Orcsome?
orcs, no, that would be awesome.
That actually, good. You don't even know what he's talking about. Shameful.
Yes.
I don't know.
I don't
Why?
I don't know why he said that to you, but
Why he doesn't know? He doesn't know 40 his 40k lore.
I definitely don't.
What color makes orcs move faster?
What color?
Makes orcs
Is
move
it
faster.
Red? I don't know.
wow, that was awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah, it is. If you
I figured red is like angry,
if you
so.
paint an orc miniature red, it can move an extra inch.
Really?
Yes.
If you paint it red.
Yes.
Not if you like roll the die and it's red.
That
if
is
you went home
correct.
and painted it red?
Yes.
What if it's just like a red loincloth or something? Can he move like a little bit?
You can move an extra inch if your vehicle.
I don't think I ever saw a vehicle that didn't have some red on it.
Yeah.
So dumb.
No, it's awesome.
Sure. Okay. Go ahead. We're derailing
Anyway,
this thing super bad.
totally derailed. Getting back to the number 54 on my list, that's Heroes of Normandy. This is a World War II, but it's tactical game. It is more of a Hollywood-esque form of the game, though. It doesn't really focus as much on the retelling of history as it does with the different player powers that you have in the game. Now, you can play the game with those different battles throughout history, recreating those different battles. They have all that. But the focus, the artwork, the way that the game is played, all this other kind of stuff, it's more of a, I guess you could say, a frolic than it is a simulation, if that makes any sense at all.
Good word
So
usage. I
that
like it.
is Heroes of Normandy from Yellow. Can't wait for Heroes of Black Reach, coming soon from Yellow and GW. That's my number 54, Heroes of Normandy.
Rated PG-13.
My number 54 is one that was 133 last year, so it's moving up on
Wow,
the list.
it's a big leap.
And I just played this last week again, and it's one of the tensest games I've ever played. Team of 4 versus 4, and that is Captain Sonar. Oh, whenever I play this game, it's just like the whole time you're like, what's going on?
This was
What are you
already on
doing?
your list last year?
It was 133. It didn't make
Yeah,
the
no,
top
I know,
100.
but it was already out when you
Yeah,
made
it
the
came
list
out
last
around
time?
Gen Con or whatever. Man, every time I play this game, it's fun. And it promotes the team aspect almost more than any other game. Because if you're the captain, you're really working with the sonar guy, okay, and the first mate's sitting there going, Captain, you need to do this, and talking to the engineer, and the engineer's just like, I'm trying to make things work, you know?
Giving it all she's got.
And, man, it's so good. I played it with 7 people who I never played it with before this past week. It just worked really well.
That's
I mean,
nice.
I was yelling at the opposing captain. Just, tell him he got there. I was like, you're going to lose.
That's thematic.
Fortunately, he did.
It's like yelling through the submarine, through the water.
I'm a pirate submariner.
He's like hearing. He said something.
We're setting up Morse code. You will.
I'm sure someone right now
Die.
actually knows Morse code. And they're
I
like,
love how you started tapping. You're like, oh, this isn't going to be right. I'm going to stop.
Right. Well, I wasn't trying.
oops.
I wasn't trying to make letters, but then I
Morse
thought
code is-
someone's gonna think that I am, so
Yeah,
I
right.
stopped
Morse
doing
code
that.
is hard. Here we
I know
go.
S. Okay, go ahead.
And you know O.
And you
What's
probably
up?
know S again.
Right, yeah, SOS. That's it. Everybody knows that.
Go.
All right, My 54 is a fairly new game. This is almost brand new, right? This came out this year or maybe really late last year.
That's still new. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. We don't
It's
know
like
what it
less
is.
than a
What's
year
the game?
old.
No, I'm gonna Sam this up. So
You
it's a
do it.
game in which,
Go for it.
see, here's the thing I like about the game.
Yeah.
No, it's Baron Park.
That came
That's
out.
like super new. That came out like 3 months ago.
That's a long time for me, man. Okay, I'm all about the games that come on next week. Ain't nobody got time for that. Game from 3 months ago.
Baron Park. That's really high for that new of a game.
It is. I really liked it.
Now
Well,
let me ask this: it beats out the Cottage Garden then?
Cottage Garden. I've never even played that. Get out of my face with that Rosenberg filth.
They're almost the same game. Dude.
haven't played.
What about Patchwork?
That I have played, and yes, it beats out Patchwork.
What was it rolling his
like-
eyes for? I'm sorry to ask.
It's like a
this.
commando
Game about
walking into like a
quilting.
daycare and slapping a baby.
Quilting or Bear Zoo.
Come on, man. No, it's just a better game. I mean,
Oh
the
my
theme,
goodness.
the theme
Now-
helps too, but I just enjoy the game so much better than Patchwork.
Yeah.
Patchwork was okay. Yeah, Baron Park is really up there for how new of a game it is. Yeah, but every time I play it, it puts me in the zone. I don't know what it is. It's got this great sort of, as soon as I've laid out a couple of tiles, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to get this one now, and this one fits in here, and ooh, look, I got to get that one over there. And it's just, I don't know, it's super relaxing while also keeping a little tension on to make sure you do things before the opponents. I've enjoyed a 2-player tremendously, but more players than that is fine too. It's just a fun game, man. The design is super clean. I will say, you need to skip over that whole like don't play with the advanced tiles thing.
Oh yeah.
Put that
are
in
you
there.
kidding? Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Otherwise,
a simple
it's,
game anyway.
otherwise
The
it's
advanced
really
game is
simple.
like
Yeah.
a little bit more.
Yeah. You can put that in there right away, and that does liven it up a little bit, because the other way is the replayability will run out considerably faster. But yeah, I really enjoy it. Great tile laying game, interesting, colorful, dig it. That is Barron Park, my 54.
I believe that I have discovered number 53.
My number 53 is one of several dexterity games on my list, and this one we just got a beautiful deluxe version of, and that is Flick 'em Up. That big deluxe version they're selling, it's amazing. It's like a suitcase, and there's all kinds of cool pieces
ridiculous.
in. Yeah, but I made this before I even got that version, this list, and
It
that
would have been higher.
No,
maybe. I mean, bigger doesn't always mean better.
that is correct. It's still the same game. It's just harder to store.
But it's prettier to store.
That's true.
Yeah, because
it's actually easier.
that's
to,
true. The
I wonder
box
about
looks
the.
a lot better than
I wonder about it being easier to store because I have the expansions for that one, and I'm trying to like shove them all in
And
this
that one
box.
has a handle.
That's true.
That
Anyhow,
is also cool.
I love the Wild West theme. This is the second game on this top 10 that has it in it. There's not many games that do it, and there's very few games that have that whole wah 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 type feel to it. And
Let me see.
what's he showing people?
Oh, come on, man.
Okay, so anyhow, I feel like Flick 'em Up really brings that shoot 'em up aspect to life.
I love you.
Everybody knows but you. I hate you all. Hate.
So does Flick 'em Up, the fancy box, have the expansions in there?
I don't think so, because
He
there's
hasn't opened it up
horses.
that enough.
Yeah, I haven't really messed with it too much. The horses are big, though. I don't. In the regular game, I can't imagine them
Horses are
fitting in that big box.
Got it.
Anyhow, Flick 'em Up.
one
I
of those
really like it. The team
Shetland
versus team.
ponies. They're not very big.
Go ahead. Thanks for derailing it.
You're welcome.
I'm about to weep. But cowboys don't weep.
If you have an issue,
There's no weeping in
here's a
Wild
tissue.
West.
There's no weeping and rustling.
All right, my 53 is, I was just talking about Stefan Feld. This is a Stefan Feld game.
Oh, man.
Hypocrite!
If it had been a Uwe Rosenberg game, that would have been quite hypocritical. But
Yes.
Stefan Feld was a couple of numbers ago. This is Bruges, one of my favorite Stefan Feld games. And the thing I like about it, I mean, it's got all that other stuff, right? The point salad, everything is points. The thing that makes this one of the ones I enjoy from his more recent stuff is the card-driven deal. I mean, that the cards all have different characters. You can use each card as a bunch of different things, so I like that too. But that's where the flavor comes in for me. You know, there's only so much cube pushing I can take. But you give me cards with someone's, you know, with a drawing of some supposed character and some power they have, or some special ability they give me, boom, I'm back in, man. Give me all the salad you want. So
So you're saying there's some meat in this salad?
this is kind of like the meat.
shrimp.
Yeah, it's like the soil and green in the salad.
Some shrimp.
Some scramps?
Yeah. Some shrimp.
That is
Some
my
grilled chicken.
yes.
Just right.
This is
getting-
the weirdest top 10.
We keep derailing more and more
I don't
every
know what's
list.
happening. Bruges is my 53.
Rouge.
Or
All
something
right.
like that.
My number 53, and the reason I was being so surreptitious against Thomas.
Man, the word usage is on point.
I believe jerky is the correct.
Number
No.
53 is also a Wild West
Is
game.
it Flick 'em Up?
And it is Flick 'em Up, but it is smashed together with Dead of Winter. So it's Flick 'em Up, Dead of Winter.
Okay.
Yeah, see,
Whatever,
I knew.
you showed it to you.
I know.
did.
Shh, it's acting. Shut up.
So I usually am not a huge fan of dexterity style games.
Correct.
But for some reason, I've always liked, kind of in the background, not as much as you have. Although it's interesting that you say Flick 'em Up and I say this one on the same one.
That is really a
I
pretty...
didn't think it was. I didn't think I liked it as much. I would have expected this to be higher on your list.
Well, there's reasons that I'll explain later on.
Okay, but anyway, this one I've always liked, and I've always enjoyed it. I do enjoy the Wild West theme, but and that's probably what brings this dexterity game specifically more into my limelight, is because of that Wild West theme to it. And you know, I like the flicking things, and it doesn't really have to be. It's not the same kind of dexterity game as others, where you know you have to be careful about doing this or doing that. You're just like, bam! You know, it's that type of stuff. You still have to aim, don't get me wrong. This one, No, actually, this one, that's one of the reasons why. Because you have a shotgun in Dead of Winter. And you can line up 4 of them Beppies and just go, have fun. Bam!
Well, that's an
And just-
expansion for one of the things.
I know, but this comes in the base box, baby.
Oh yeah.
So
Also
that's
zombies,
cool.
man.
I also like the zombie tower and how them coming out of it, where you place them on top of the zombie tower before you let them fall through, matters as how they tumble out and all this other kind of stuff. I really enjoy this, and this is what actually put Flick 'em Up on my list, because I don't think it's ever been on my list before. But the smash up between it and Dead of Winter, that's what brought it up. So
Okay.
my number 53, Flick 'em Up, Dead of Winter.
Arr! There be number 52.
Let's see if my number 52 is also Flick 'em Up, fellas.
It's not.
It's really not.
You don't like Flick 'em Up that much,
I
He
do
doesn't
not.
like it at all.
But maybe it's Flick 'em Up Dead of Winter.
which you
It's
never played.
also not that. This is actually a roll and write. So
Oh, I'm surprised.
Roland Wright designed it?
Roland M. Wright. Yes. No, this is
No,
it's-
Roland Enright. Come on, get it right.
Oh, okay. It's two fellas.
Yeah.
Got it. This is actually not technically a roll and write. It's a flip a card over and write. It's a game called Avenue from Aporta Games.
You just talked about
I was just talking about that company a couple of.
That was foreshadowing.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, well, I know you really like Avenue.
I do a lot. This is one of the simpler ones in the genre, one of the least fiddly ones, okay? And it's a lot like Karuba, in which you are
What about
giving
Jamaica?
everyone information.
What about Jamaica?
We'll get to that later, actually.
Bahamas?
Not that one, but Jamaica.
Ooh.
Jamaica
Come
will
on,
be.
pretty mama.
Come on, pretty mama. He just said to me.
game.
Key Largo?
Montego. Ooh,
Bill.
I want it. Now I got it in my head. Great. Anyway, Avenue, you flip over a card. It tells everyone what kind of curvature of road they need to draw on their own sheet, and everyone does it, but in different places, so it'll develop differently, and then you're attempting to score different things. It's just the simplicity coupled with getting yourself into trouble very soon. I like that. I like that. Oh, I'm gonna put this road right here. That's fine. I'm just gotta get that one straight up and down one. Well, you're gonna be waiting, because that one might not come for a while, and then you end up forcing yourself into problematic situations. I enjoy it. It's getting reprinted by the people who put out Kadama, and it's using that theme.
Action phase games?
Is that right? Action Phase, I think. So it's being reprinted with that theme. Haven't seen it, but hey, you know, it's going to be more widely available. That's cool. But I really enjoy Avenue, and I'm keeping my version, I think, because I love the look of it.
I wonder how many places listed in that Beach Boys song have become games. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Jamaica, Karuba, Key Largo.
You know what? That's because when people make games, they're sitting there going, all right, and they flip an atlas open and they go, nope, already a game about that one.
I'm thinking they were listening to that song.
The people who made the games?
Yeah,
Maybe.
could be.
The B-52s.
Dice Tower Theory, 47.
Oh, that's fun.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
All right, we're on 52s, yeah?
Yes.
All right, my number
The
52 is
B-52s.
going to be
That's what I thought too.
B-52s. Oh, yeah, I got it. This is going to be much, much, much higher on Mr. Vasil's list, I would imagine.
Not provable.
It's probably going to be his number 1 spot, as a matter of fact. That's
Not provable.
I
I don't even know what
also
the game is
true.
yet.
Cosmic Encounter. Come on.
What?
Yeah, that's going to be
That's
number
good
1.
right there. That's great. Famous.
Cosmic Encounter is a fun
I'm trying to
game.
find that.
It is. I think it's not as.
Good.
No, I'm not going to say.
Dude,
good.
it's your number 52.
It
That's
is
pretty
a
high.
good game. You know, it is a good game. I don't think it's as palatable for so many different people as you think it is.
I've never had it fail except maybe once.
That's not true. I've heard it fail a lot. Maybe your personal experience has been.
That's what
It failed twice with me. I think one time was
So you
because
just-
one of the players hid their ships so that people didn't know they were on a planet, which I feel like is breaking the game.
Wait,
Who
what?
did that?
You were in that game also. This was back in Korea. You can guess the person who did it.
Oh, his initials were JS, I imagine. And he's also a war gamer,
We were playing.
Yes.
which is why he probably said they're not in your line of sight.
No.
so-
We were playing with the Bayford version, which has the little tiny
Oh,
stupid
goodness.
things. So he hid them behind other piles, and people going around the table because they didn't have there was no way to count. Like
No,
the
I
new
know,
one,
you just would count.
You
Yeah.
would just count. So we were like, oh, he only has 3. Invite him in. And then he's like, oh, I win the game. But I have this 4th planet right here.
That is cheese, man. That is so much
It is cheese, but I would imagine that the rules do not say you can't do that,
Come on.
which is why he did it probably. But anyway, we derail. Digress.
That's digress and derail.
Digress and derail at the same time.
Digress, yes.
Degress, derail. Same thing, only different. Cosmic Encounter is a fun game. It is good to play. My wife hates this game though. My kids enjoy it, but we cannot get her to play Cosmic Encounter. She absolutely hates it, and I don't know why. I don't think I've ever done anything to her. I mean, I would never lie to my wife in a game, but you know, that's just the way it is. My
getting
number
crazy. This is
52
getting
is
crazy.
Cosmic Encounter.
My number 52 is also Cosmic. Okay, no, my number 52 was 83 last year. So another one that's moved up. And
Okay.
I played this one last week too, and that's Stockpile.
I'm seeing a trend. If you played it last week,
It gets put on.
I made the list way before last week.
lies, for all I know, filthy lies.
I have proof.
Oh, okay, fine.
Anyhow, no, Stockpile, it's just a great stock market game. Normally, stock market games, I'll think, okay, I like stock market in theory, but a lot of stock market games are like, do you want to burn your brain off to score an extra $2 after doing it for the longest time?
Yeah.
This one's really simple. It has that auction mechanism that's in Vegas Showdown. I really like that, where you outbid the next person by moving your marker.
And they have to move.
Right, I really enjoy that. That's an easy, simple way to auction. You know a little bit of information. I know that the yellow stock's going to crash this turn, so I sell my yellow stock, and then you're like, should I sell it? Is he lying?
Right.
You know, and that it's fast, simple, great game, great game.
All right, well, that was fun. So why don't you guys take a look at number 51?
All right, my number 51 is labeled, at least by me, as the first Christian or biblically themed game that I thought was new and fresh and felt like a modern board game.
Bibleopoly,
No.
Ark of the
This is
Covenant,
called
Commission.
Commissioned, yeah, by Kaura Games, and this one really was put in the limelight for me because of that. Every time I see a Christian or a biblically themed board game come out, it's usually some old busted mechanism that everybody and their mother has used, and they're like, okay, we'll slap a Christian or a biblical theme on it and
Trivial Pursuit.
sell it to that group of individuals, you know, that targeted audience. This one, however, took some fresh mechanics, took some mechanisms that were being used in modern board games and say, you know what, we can make a game that is going to feel thematic, but it's also going to feel modern. And that's what Commissioned is for me. It is a great Christian, biblically themed game that I think other people who are not Christians would also enjoy playing. And that's a huge thing for me. When you can do that with that, I don't know, I guess you could say divisive of a theme, because there are people who have very strong opinions against that theme, but they will still enjoy the game. That's a huge thing for me, and that's what this is. I think Christians will love the game. I think non-Christians will also enjoy the game as well. Commissioned by number 51, and that's why it made it.
Cool. My number 51 was 43 last year, so same area. This is probably my favorite game from Bezier Games. So that would be Suburbia. I really like building cities. I just do.
You do.
And there's just not, most board games just don't do as good of a job of it. They're flawed in some ways. You had one on your list already, I think, the Capital game.
Quadropolis.
Oh no, Quadropolis. Quadropolis, though, I do like Quadropolis, and it's in my top 200. But that one feels more of a puzzle. Let's put things in. It
That's why I
doesn't
like
necessarily
it.
feel like building a city. Suburbia really has that whole city thing down. You build an airport, you get extra points. Other people build airports. You put down a restaurant, everyone else's restaurants make less money now. I like that sort of
okay,
thing.
I see. Okay.
In college, he would get up early in the morning just so that he could start his sim game and leave it running while he's in classes. He would come back at lunch, check it,
I would.
and then go back and make changes and go back to his afternoon classes and then come back in the evening and so forth.
I did do that. I really like SimCity. I haven't played SimCity in ages, though.
Don't start now. It sounds like it would like consume your life.
I'm busy playing Heroes of Might and Magic, remember?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true.
right, against Z. He just doesn't know it.
Apparently, I'm a character
I
in
play
this game.
I
And
play
he plays,
Z,
I'm sure.
Moron.
Like he names
guess
everybody
that's
like a
me?
real demeaning
Wow.
name and then Z. So we all behave the same way. What's that tell you? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do. I play moron, idiot, stupid, dumb, and Z. I always do that in my games.
Wow, you're at the
Vote
bottom
confidence,
of that list.
baby. That's real.
Maybe your character's winning.
It's not. All right, my 51 is a game that these guys will give me garbage for all the time because on the
That
one
could be
hand,
anything.
yeah, I know that's why. Let me get to it. Hold up. Let me frame this.
It's gonna be one of the pandemic.
I say it's a miniatures game, and
Oh,
Tom
it's
will
not.
say, "Oh, it's got like 3 different miniatures," and I'll say it's a dungeon crawl, and Sam
I
will
don't
say,
give you
"Oh,
garbage
this
for
game
liking
is
this."
like got, very little dungeon crawling in it."
Oh, claustrophobia.
Claustrophobia is
I don't
right.
give you garbage for liking this. I'm just surprised you like it because you don't normally like this style of game.
That's true. I like a few though. I like enough that it's. I think that
Is Black
That
Plague gonna be
stereotype
higher, though?
is-
That's all I'm asking.
I don't know. It might be.
Oh, it better be.
It might be.
Otherwise, I will. What's the opposite of preemptive?
Post-emptive.
Post. Okay, yeah.
Hey man, English.
I will post-emptively give you crap on this one if Black Plague is not higher on your list.
Okay, sure. Roll with it. Roll with it. Anyway, Claustrophobia is a 2-player only, basically exploration dungeon crawl, right? Both sides play differently. I
You're being
enjoy
very
the way.
defensive here. I'm okay with this.
No, I'm just trying to like frame it correctly. Both sides do play very differently, and I just enjoy the tactical gameplay in it. It's
What about expansion? Definite
yeah, I
or
like
not?
those too. I like those too. You don't need them.
Yeah, that's a third faction, right? A dinosaur or something?
You know when you
Yeah.
just
Second expansion does.
when you frame something, when a catcher frames a pitch, he's making the pitch look better than it actually was. So I'm just saying, you may not want to say that you're trying to frame this.
Wow, I'm a big baseball fan, and I did not know that was a term. When you frame a pitch, when you frame a person, they go to jail.
Yeah. So
When you
framing
frame a
is
picture,
probably
It makes it look better, maybe, I
yeah,
guess.
So you're trying to make the game
when you
sound
frame
better
a
But when you
person,
frame a
doesn't make-
person, it doesn't make them look better, it makes them look worse.
Depends on your point of view.
you're making them look better for the crime.
Yeah, baby, English.
It's tough. It's tough out here. I think
This
I'll
is the
stick
worst
with,
rabbit
I think
trails we've
I
ever
will
done.
stick with hunting down demons in Claustrophobia on my 51.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
Well, we're about to get to the top 50,
That's
right? This is it. We're halfway through the list at this point. I'm excited because there's still new games that are going to be showing up. Not as many as we get higher in the list. There's a lot of these games I've seen before.
I have a lot to go through still, at least like 50 games to go through still. So
So precise. How
So-
could you be so
I said
precise?
at least.
How do you know? I actually have 55 games left to go. That's right.
Cheatery.
How do we have 55?
'Cause
Let
some
me
of them-
post-emptively.
Some of the spots are 2 games in the same
What?
spot. It's just that
You are such a cheater.
you will see when we get there. I don't even think you will argue with one of them.
Maybe.
All right. Anyway, until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Thank you.
Sam Healy. See you on the flip side, folks.
Some say that Tom is like a giant among men. Others say he's a little obsessed.
I don't even have a top 10.
Tom Vassell's top 100 games of all time.
Z's got flavor in his top 100 games. Z Garcia, voice of the people. Z Garcia.